Yeah, Is Jared in there? Can you hear me? Oh, he's not in. Okay. Well, I guess we'll run the track then once through. All right. Cool. Well, Finding frames is actually a metaphor that we came up with for the record, and it actually kind of accents, um, people and how they like to gravitate towards certain things and find their passion for something. Because some people may like art, or they may like music like we do, or they may like something else. They want to be a doctor or do something. But it's all about the journey that leads up to there. And, people will take pictures of their children and just, people growing up, and there'll be photographs of where they are in their lives and what they gravitate towards. And basically, what this album is capturing is where we are at our, in our lives at this point, and we've hit a peak of where we know what we want to do for the rest of our lives, or at least for my life. And it kind of encaptures the kind of music we want to make, which is just rock and roll. But the whole metaphor comes from the pictures, and it's basically finding a frame that will fit the picture size and show it off in the correct fashion. So this album is just the frame that shows off the picture, which is the music. There really isn't a lot of music that we're playing out there today. Yeah, I mean, there's a big indie pop market out there, and then there's just a bunch of pop divas like Nicki Minaj and Kesha and Katy Perry, whatnot. But there is really a lack of rock music out in the mainstream music world. I mean, the only really big name I can think of is Foo Fighters, and they're great. I really admire them a lot, and their passion for making music the way it's supposed to be made. And they're real mainstream, and that's the one name that pops into my head. But what we're doing is we're trying to get it back to that point to where there was a lot of people back then that used to listen to this music. I mean, they used to listen to like Led Zeppelin, Nirvana, just a bunch of other people like that. I could go on for a while just talking about all the bands that I know of and the bands that I love that make rock music. But that's what we're trying to do. Is we're kind of trying to have a revival of that in a little sense. The music we like to make is rock music, and that's the whole point of why we play, is that we're trying to kind of bring that back a little bit, but in a more real sense of what we're trying to do is we're just trying to have fun with the music we love to make. The songwriting process for the record, it was really spontaneous as far as, writing the song, then going into the studio. And that's a really immediate way of doing things, which is kind of what we like and what we prefer more, because the song is fresh, your energy is better with it. Because if you let a song sit for a while, it's not going to be as, awesome. I don't know, it just seems like if you let it sit for a while, it's not going to seem like you're going to have the right amount of energy as you did in the beginning of writing it. And there's things that I've felt over the past with songs where it's like I write them at first and I'm like, man, I really want to play this. I really want to play this. And after you play it so many times, it's kind of like that feeling kind of goes away a little bit. So the immediate process of recording the songs is what we prefer overall. My first record, I think I just got done with it when I turned 16. I had just turned 16 when I finished that record. And that one compared to this one that's coming out, it is a huge, humongous difference. At least in, it's like there's a period of time when you grow up between being a teenager and becoming an adult. And there are big changes. And as far as being more mature and learning more, and just taking more information in, and doing the best with what you have and what you know. And with this record, I had learned stuff previously with the last record, but I didn't have a real sense of, what was really going on and how to control things, on the mixing board or however the recording was working. And I wanted to figure more of that out and figure out how, things work with recording and, actually know, how to articulate sound and how to make sound and process it and, how to just add things onto it. It was just a fascination of mine. So I really dug deeper into this record about finding out different ways to record, and also just having a producer helped out a lot with my knowledge and how to gain more of that. Our producer Kelly Donnelly and Jared Tootin, who worked with us, they really taught me a lot of ways on how to record music and the gist of how to layer things and overdub, and in the recording world that's a big necessity to know how to do. But yeah, we did a lot of that, and how it progressed is that we became better musicians in the past 3 years, and you can hear it on the record on how my singing has changed a lot and my playing's changed a lot, and I've hit a point where it's just like, wow, I've really hit the core of what I want to be doing. So I think that really, this album really encaptures what I'm all about and what I want to do for a long time. There's a song that we recorded on this record, which we actually recorded on the last record I did. It's called Pretend. And on the last record, it wasn't recorded the right way, I feel like. So we kind of revisited that and re-recorded it for this record. And it's about basically not, pretending to be someone else in order to fit into a certain situation, and not changing who you are just to, adapt to whatever environment you're in. And, I did that for a while there. As I was growing up, where I was trying to pretend to be somebody that I wasn't. And that's a real personal song, I think, and that's a personal song for me, at least. So there's that one, and also, all the songs have a deeper meaning to me, and to go in depth about that, for myself is fine, but I'd like to hear what they do for other people compared to me, because it's always interesting to hear feedback on, songs that, do something for other people, and then I'm just like, wow, I didn't expect it to do that, but I'm, glad it kind of turned you on to a different thing and than I was turned on to. But Get What You Need, that was a nice tune. I really liked the way that turned out. That was the first one we ever got done for the record, and everything is real consistent on that song, and it sounds like there are 3 guys in a room recording, and we just it was the most energy filled song of all the record, I think. The whole record has energy spewing out every end, but I think that song had something really special, and it was just kind of like the rawness of just rocking out, and we were all just like really happy with the way it turned out. So we were just like, yeah, this song and the way we recorded it is so direct that we can just close up shop on it right now. I was just like, man, I'm really satisfied with how this turned out. So there's those 2 songs that I really like on that record, and everything else, I think I have the same at least opinion towards, because everything else on the record, I feel like they all say a different thing, and they all speak a different language for each of them. So that's what I hear in each of them, is that all of them are pretty consistent. The whole record as a whole is consistent with the songs on it, and I'm happy with the way it really turned out. So yeah, that's the ultimate satisfaction, is being happy with the product you have to give out to people, and that's what I think we've tried to do, is make the best record that we can make and work our butts off on it, and then give it to the people and see what feedback we can get. This album is really just a statement for me and the band and we're trying to put it out there, and it's a great statement to show off what we're capable of, ultimately. And you know, if it gets picked up by anybody, that's great. But the main reason we make music is to, you know, just broadcast it to the people, and hope they like it. And our fans are great, and they're the most loving people we know. And that's all we want to do, is make music for people that, you know, really want to hear it and that can enjoy listening to it.